You say the Bible is a pro-life book?
Of course. Of course.
And then what do you say to the people out there who say, well, you know what? God killed everybody on earth. He killed everybody except for Noah and a bunch of farm animals. That's not very pro-life.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Because I've had people make the argument, there's probably some pregnant women that were there and the flood happened that God sent, and he kind of aborted those babies.
Well, on the same hand, he also did have an ark and did try to save as many as he could. And it was,
But a boat is really small. You couldn't fit all of. If a fetus is, considered a baby, shouldn't he have saved every pregnant woman because there's life on them?
So we do try to save every baby. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ark.
The ark itself.
He should have put all the pregnant women on the ark.
So the interpretation of the Genesis story is hard.
That was painful to watch, and that's partly because I don't think the priest did a good job, and partly because I think the question was a setup job. Either way, I think this video can serve as a learning experience. Would you say the Bible is a pro-life book? Well, that depends entirely on what is meant by a pro-life book. Sometimes we need more information before we can answer a question. In this case, it's not immediately clear to me what is meant by a pro-life book. And so we need to ask a clarifying question. What do you mean by a pro-life book? Most people associate pro-life with the abortion debate. The phrase pro-life is shorthand for the belief that elective abortion is wrong. So someone could take a pro-life book to mean a book against elective abortion. And that's probably what the priest took the question to mean. But that's not what the questioner meant. Instead, he's asking something like, do you think the Bible is against all killing? Well, that's a different question with a different answer. After all, the Bible is full of examples of God killing people through acts of judgment. The flood is a prime example. So notice we have two different questions with two different answers. Is the Bible pro-life? Well, that depends. God gives commands against murder, unjustified killing, and I think this includes taking the life of an unborn human. But God is also justified in taking life, especially in judgment. Unlike humans, God can legitimately take life that he gives. In other words, God has prerogatives regarding humans as their creator that humans just don't have. Unfortunately, this poor Christian failed to make some important clarifications. Here's hoping we can learn from his mistakes.